Welcome to episode 3 of my modded Vanilla Plus hardcore series. Today's episode, we will of course continue adding to our wonderful little settlement with 2 brand new builds, but towards the end, I want to focus on exploration. See, one of the mods we're using is the Dungeons and Taverns data pack, and thanks to a map I found in a jungle tavern during episode 2, later today we'll be venturing out to the ultra rare stray fortress structure and looting it for all of its belongings. We have quite a ride ahead of us with a lot of near-death experiences.
Oh, you are dangerous. You are very dangerous. Oh my gosh!
So like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with future episodes, and let's jump into this. So the general to-do list for today's episode is to level up and enchant my gear, as I don't want to have a chance of dying. Of course, we are going to adventure to the Stray Fortress map, maybe get a sniffer because reasons, as well as create the member mineshaft. And essentially what that is, for those of you guys that don't know, there is a join button attached to the channel for those of you guys that would like to join and become a member to support the content. And the member mineshaft is my way of creating a landmark in the world dedicated to you guys that decide to support. You have a regular membership, which will of course get you in this mineshaft, but we also have a villager tier membership, which will get you named after villagers in our world. Which, by the way, shout out to my boy 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 right here, which already became a member, so I decided to name him after the mending villager. But I do want to create that little mineshaft somewhere in this general area to put all of you guys' names, including the Patreon supporters, because you guys go the extra mile to support the content, and I really appreciate it. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, let's of course get started on the to-do list, and I am going to go ahead and cue the montage of me enchanting my gear, perhaps mining some more diamonds and iron, as well as mining quite a bit of quartz inside of the nether so that we can get the appropriate levels for all this enchanting. Alright, so after a little bit of work, we got all of our stuff enchanted. Obviously, this isn't the final enchants that we're going for, but with a full set of enchanted armor, we did get Sweeping Edge 3, Sharpness 4 on the sword, which is nice, so we can trade with our boy 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 down there for a mending book at some point. And I even got a Flame Power 3 bow, which is pretty decent for the time being. Now, what I have noticed is that I do want to trade with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but I also need emeralds to do so, so I think I'm going to end up making a sugarcane farm very soon to go alongside the membership and Patreon mineshaft that we're going to make today as well. So yeah, I know it wasn't on the to-do list, but I immediately got to work on that. I spent a lot of time figuring out how I wanted to do this and actually saw a layout online which basically optimizes sugarcane so it can be packed in together as much as possible to yield the best profits. And it took a minute to get the hang of that planting method because I've never done it before, but once I did, I got everything planted down and I started stacking up a bunch of rocks around my newfound farm to kind of encase it without making it look like anything too fancy. But I also made sure to cover up any of the water sources that I had with trapdoors so that I could walk over them whenever I'm harvesting it. And I even planted not only some glowstone in the water as a light source, but I also covered up the trapdoors with moss carpet to make things look much more natural. This farm is going to be the source of a lot of emeralds in the future, and I gotta say, I kind of like how it turned out. Alright, and just like that, we have ourselves a pretty nice sugarcane farm. And I know it wasn't exactly on the to-do list, it was more of a spur of the moment thing, but I figured we could really use one, seeing as we kind of still need a way to get emeralds. And you guys can see that I have it laid out in such a way as to where I can pack as much sugarcane as possible into this little area. You'll notice that I have the water, which is actually under these moss carpets, and in areas where you don't think sugarcane could grow, like in this corner, I actually have it under the walls of the actual little enclosure thing. Now, there's only one thing that we're missing in this little area. Of course, I have myself a chest here. We can store all of our sugarcane. We can turn it to paper using the crafting table under the chest. but I have myself a little bit of a merchant, I have myself a little merchant stand right here, a little bit of a merchant box, and we're kind of missing the merchant. Hey, buddy, would you like to have your own little... Okay, then. All right, by far the most frustrating 10 minutes of my life, which, yes, that took 10 minutes, but we are here, and we finally have ourselves a villager that is dedicated, I really didn't want to hit him, to selling paper. So the first thing I want to do is grab as much sugarcane as humanly possible, and let's go ahead and turn all of this into paper and get ourselves some profits from not only this villager, but from the villager in the tower as well. Hello, my good sir. Here is some paper for you. Wait, how do I do the instant trade thing? There we go. All right, sweet. So we got 16 emeralds from that. We unlocked his next trade. Honestly, I can buy some lanterns from him just to kind of level him up. You know what I mean? Might as well do a little bit of bartering with this man. And we'll go get some more emeralds from the man in the tower. All right, Farah, I bring with me good tidings, aka paper, which you seem to love so much. Let's kind of see what we got going on here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care for piercing. Books for emerald, not terrible. We can get ourselves a mending book for only 15 emeralds, and we do have some emeralds on hand. So just gonna, you know, we'll just do that, and we'll get ourselves a mending book, which I'm gonna go ahead and slap onto our sword. This is the first ever sword that we have ever made. So, you know, I kind of wouldn't mind having mending on it, and we'll name it the Genesis Blade because, you know, it's the first ever blade. Now we have our first ever mending item, which is actually pretty exciting. All right, so with the sugarcane farm done and our sugarcane vendor over there, I think it's time that we go ahead and start on our final build of the video before the adventure, and that is the member/Patreon mineshaft that I want to build in this little corner over here. I went and spent some excess levels to get a pretty good shovel, as I am going to terraform a lot of this area right here so that we can build it. And I guess the majority of this is probably going to be a time lapse because I don't really know what I'm doing. So yeah, enjoy. All right, so before I do a little bit of a mini tour of the mine shaft that I built back there, let's go ahead and move on over to the comment of the day, which comes from @Crunchwrap, who says, I have watched this video on repeat 3 times because I've been stuck in the Planet Fitness restroom with no toilet paper and I'm too scared to do anything else. I'll leave how he got out of that situation up to the imagination, but a lot of people in the comments said that that should be the comment of the day, so that is the comment of the day. Anyways, moving on over to the tour of this little mine shaft area. This took a little bit longer than I was anticipating. I'm still gonna do a little bit of detailing and stuff around the outside. I think we're gonna have an episode dedicated to that because I kind of want to make some roads connecting all of our builds together. And I think whenever I do that, I'm gonna add some more details. But of course, out here, we have a little picnic bench, which I actually found this design on Pinterest. I thought it looked awesome. We have ourselves a little toolsmith here because of course you can't go mining without your tools. So we have a little toolsmith right here. we have a little bit of a carriage type deal, wagon thing, with a crane that is currently putting some deep slate diamond ore in there. We also have some TNT because, you know, a little bit of a blast mine, got a minecart TNT over there. And I do want to get a sniffer at some point, like I had mentioned, and I kind of want to make the sniffer pull the cart because I think it'll be funny. Aside from that, though, we have two separate entrances here. This one right here, we have another kind of smaller wagon that is currently bringing out some amethyst clusters, and you'll see that since I couldn't put rails under it, I used barrels as rails instead. But going in through here, we have some barrels of storage, just a bunch of random stuff from whenever I was digging. I also have a bunch of shovels here because I did some trading with that guy. We also have a guy that's going to make some food for everybody in the mine shaft so that they can keep working. You'll see that I put a little campfire down here and then an unlit one right here with some food on it. And of course, we have a smoker behind this little furnace area. Of course, the main part of the mine shaft, the whole main reason that I built it, and we'll probably end up, you know, expanding this mine shaft as time goes on if we need to, but it is, of course, to pay homage to our Patreon and member supporters. So we have our Patreon 𝗍𝗓𝗕𝗏 tier 3, 𝘁𝗵𝗂 tier 3, 𝗏𝗚mis tier 2, and Angel 33, which is my mom. She's also a tier 1 member, and we also have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is a member, which is tier 2, which is why he is a villager named in the tower over there. So as you guys become members and Patreon supporters, obviously it is not needed whatsoever. Watching the videos is plenty enough, but this is a way that I can pay homage to you guys and kind of thank you guys for your support and put you permanently in this little world of ours. Anyways, with the member / Patreon mineshaft out of the way and the sugarcane farm that we kind of made on a whim, I think it's about time that we get to the main meat and potatoes of this episode, and we go adventuring, which I do have the Stray Fortress map right here, and obviously we don't have an elytra or anything, but you know, let's go and get in third person here to take a look at this map. We don't know how far this is going to be, but from what it is telling me, we do need to go south, so we need to go into this direction, and eventually, as soon as we see the white pixel at the top right start moving, then we can cut and start making our way onto the map. But yeah, this is going to be a very long trip, so I'm just going to go ahead and get prepared really quick, and we'll see where this takes us. So I spent a little time getting my inventory in check with things like a boat, some torches, food, etc., and then I went to sleep before picking up my bed and setting out into uncharted territory. I've played quite a lot of hours in this world, and we've only scratched the tiniest of surfaces when it comes to loading in new chunks, and I gotta say, I came across quite a few new landmarks in my travels. Of course, I first saw the Jungle Tavern where we got the map from, but just beyond that, I actually came across a jungle village that I wasn't expecting that had the rare parrot statue that only a few of them will actually generate with. I'm not exactly sure what we can do with this village, but if you'd like to see me transform the area in the future, maybe put up some protective bamboo walls among other buildings, then let me know in the comments. Next, I came across a spider dungeon from the Young's Better Structures mod pack, specifically the dungeon one. And this is a structure mod pack I decided to install alongside what we started with after I did that review of it a few weeks ago. We're not going to explore any of these just yet, but it's definitely something I want to come back to. Fast forward quite a while, because that was a super long trip, I noticed that we were starting to get really close because the dot on the map was not only getting bigger, but it was actually moving downward. I found the final direction I need to set out in before we finally stumble upon the Stray Fortress, but a very peculiar obstacle was in our way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm no expert, but it looks like the Stray Fortress is probably right over there, given how big the dot is on our map. And it looks like there's a bit of a pirate ship that's in our way. Well, what do you say if we tackle that ship and claim the booty? This is probably a really bad idea. I'm terrible. Oh, ow, that hurt a lot. Ow, they deal so much damage. Probably best that we take these guys on from a distance, yeah. That guy's stuck. I can hit him pretty easily. Oh, he's not stuck anymore. Oh no. Oh, hey, on guard, or something. Oh, we have another challenger. Yeah, these guys right here, you don't know what you're doing. Get off my pirate ship. What's up, fellas? Oh, you are dangerous. You are very dangerous. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, dude. They do not play around. Oh, I literally had to dive off of the boat to survive. Are you kidding me? These guys deal so much damage, dude. My heart is racing. Come on. Yeah. Oh no, 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 not again, not again, not again. I thought this little pirate ship thing would be kind of fun and you know, little silly. It's very dangerous stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. What we got going on? Oh my goodness, there's more. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh. Okay. The loot incentive? Not gonna lie, it's a little crazy. I'm not gonna take everything. I definitely say that I deserve it. Oh my goodness, dude. 4 diamonds, 17 emeralds. I'm not really gonna worry about the other stuff. We got some iron too. Goodness. Okay. What do we got going on in here? Oh. Okay, and we're good. We are safe. Outpost. Explorer map, so pillager outpost. We got a spyglass, a clock. Okay, so we have tons of food here. And I think we're just gonna stock up on as many pork chops as possible, to be honest. We can get a little bit of baked potatoes in here. I'm not gonna take everything, but you know, just what I'm gonna need for the road. This, fellas, I'm not gonna lie, was a little stressful. I think I deserve I think I deserve the loot from this little adventure, and I need myself a little bit of a breather. So I think we're gonna spend the night on this ship, and then we're gonna make our way to that stray fortress. But man, I mean that was a very scary experience for multiple different reasons. I guess we'll set up shop inside the captain's quarters here, and we'll call it a night. The sun's going down. And then we'll make our way over to the Stray Fortress map, which, like I said, our little white orb, it's pretty big, so I'm pretty sure we're getting close to it. And I really hope that it's not as difficult as this ship, because this, I'm not gonna lie, this was a very scary experience. Let's go to sleep. All right, the next day, we have a whole day ahead of us for adventure. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little screenshot of these cords right here. I might come back to this pirate ship and fill it up with some villagers, you know, as our first ever ship that we conquered here in the world. We'll go ahead and take down this pillager banner because they do not deserve it. All right, let's go ahead and get into our boat and let's make our way forward to hopefully find ourselves a stray fortress. There's a little bit of snow there. See some ice, looks like some glaciers going on. I definitely think we're close. Another pillager outpost going on. Probably the same pillagers that sent out that ship. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are making our way onto the map. That means that the stray fortress has to be somewhere in that general direction. Let's go ahead and go over here to this outpost. I'm gonna liberate it really quick. Oh, we got a name tag, which is kind of nice. And I know you guys can see it. I can see it too. Oh my goodness. What a beauty of a structure. It only took us like, I don't know, an hour to get here. Oh, but this place looks amazing. I can't wait to see what's going on inside of it. I've only ever looked at it from the outside. We even have a village going on over there in creative mode, and I'm actually very interested to see what kind of loot we got going on here, and I honestly wouldn't mind to transform one of those sometime in the future. But you know, let's go ahead and make our way down here and see what it holds. And so, after a long and tiresome journey, our assault on the Stray Fortress can begin. The area is split into 2 main sections. The outside village area, which is heavily guarded with watchtowers, fortifications, as well as any stray that might be hiding in one of the many buildings scattered outside, as well as the inside wall area, which seems much safer overall and features a centralized keep which holds a treasure room in its basement. Luckily, I got here with daylight on my side, meaning that the strays will burn up if they're outside of the shade, but I do have to hurry because whenever night falls, things could get ugly. I first make my way immediately into the town area, clearing out any strays that challenge me. While going in and out of the various structures on the outside, the first thing I notice about the encampment is the main loot table seems to be divided between chests holding bow related items like arrows, flint, etc., and chests from what I assume used to be the townsfolk that used to live here is filled with gold, iron, and emeralds. These drops are honestly really great for me as I don't really have many of those materials back home, so I do my best to stay alive against the constant barrage of arrows while also filling my pockets to the brim. As time went on, of course, night did begin to fall, and it was way quicker than I had anticipated, so I know I need to hurry and make it inside of the keep before things get a little too dangerous for me. Okay. Oh, they're still on the inside. All right, what's going on down here? Hopefully this is, oh wow. What are you doing? You're taking a little snow bath? What's going on? Let's see. Okay, so we got some more treasure items in here. Is that blue ice? It is blue ice. Hey, I'm admiring your riches. Can you stop? We have a lot of chests in here, though. Oh, yeah. Lots more ingots. We got some more nuggets I don't really care about. Emeralds. Oh, this is definitely the... Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we have the Strad music disc. We have the wild armor trim. A skull banner pattern. We have a ton of emeralds here. Some golden carrots. This is a nice chest, I will not lie. There's a lot of really good loot there. We have a double chest full of ingots here. There is an upstairs to this area, I do believe. All right, so it looks like the only other way we can go is up. So let's go up these stairs, see what waits us up here. Oh, lots of gold ingots in here. Lots of iron as well. Oh, looks like it's begun to snow. Would you look at that? Nothing quite as cinematic as a little bit of snow as you besiege a fortress single-handedly. Go ahead and go all the way up to the upstairs. And yeah, looks like we got even more treasure, dude. There is tons of loot here. I mean, there is just tons. Ladies and gentlemen, I do gotta say, it looks like the loot that we got from this trip was pretty damn good. We've come away with 3 stray heads to remember the trip. We got some diamonds from that ship. We even have an outpost location so we can make a raid farm. We ended up getting a total of 64 emeralds, almost 2 stacks of gold, almost 2 stacks of iron, a new music disc, an armor trim, which we can throw onto this stuff whenever we get back, as well as a skull banner pattern. Honestly, a pretty damn good loot haul, if I say so myself. This was a very fun adventure, although we are quite far away from home, which I'm not exactly too excited about the trip back. But I will say that this was a pretty good loot haul for our first adventure using these generated structures. And I think whenever some time goes by, we get our elytra, we get full netherite gear and stuff, you know, we get a little OP. I kind of wouldn't mind coming back here and fixing up the place for those poor villagers up there. I mean, it kind of looks like the strays kind of came into their village, absolutely ransacked the place, and forced them to move on over to another biome where the strays can't go to. So I think if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments if you guys would like us to kind of fix this place up and move all of those villagers back into their rightful home. I think that's definitely a story that could be told for another episode. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back home in the next episode.